Welcome back, everybody. So today we are not fishing with any new baits, anything else like that. We are fishing a new lake, but our goal is just to catch as many panfish as we can today. This lake does hold some decent sized panfish. I haven't caught anything real massive out of it, but we're doing everything in our power to catch as many as we can. We've got rosies down. We'll be using all sorts of different lures that we have previously, jigs, anything that we can get some fish to bite. Let's get after it. So this is our setup for today. We are fishing a weed line, it looks like, and there are a couple fish down there. They don't look real big, but hopefully that changes. We've got our rosie over yonder, and we're going to start off with the spade blade just to see if we can't catch or attract a couple bigger fish. There's a fish instantly that came up to it. Are you going to eat, though? We're set up perfectly between these weeds. Oh, he touched it. Oh, he nipped it. And he stole our waxy. I don't have spikes today, which is not great because anytime you got some of these like ripping baits and stuff like that, it's very easy for them to pull off just like that one. But that's a good start. He didn't seem super small. See if we can't get that one to come back. But yeah, we are set up absolutely perfectly on these weeds. Right over live scope, or right underneath it, I guess. There's a weed, and then our holes are like right on either side of it. Should be perfect. If we get into a big fish, we might get tangled up, which is not, hopefully doesn't happen, but I guess that's probably pretty likely, especially with the luck that we've had so far this year with fish getting into trees and everything else like that. But we'll have to put a little bit of tension on them, horse them a little bit, but see if we can get some more. Get him. That doesn't feel too bad. We just missed a... Oh! No! That was a good fish. There was just a big one that came in too. Oh my gosh. How did we lose him? It was right at the hole. It's been so hard to find fish. We haven't moved, but panning around, there have been a couple here and there, and they keep coming relatively close to us, but we've searched a little bit, and I haven't really found much else. We've had 2 good bites and missed them both. Well, we'll keep trying. Got that one, finally. Oh gosh, this is the deucer. It's not a bad one. Super pale. We've missed a couple really good fish in just a couple minutes. Super pale bluegill. Well, that's a good start. Man, there have been a couple. I don't know if they're perch or maybe even bass. They look long. But we have not had a single thing touch our minnow yet. But hopefully that's the start of something. And hopefully we can stop missing all of our decent fish. There's a couple that moved more in. Maybe we were just out here a little early. And it'll finally start picking up. Ooh, I want to hit it hard. That one doesn't feel too bad. How big are you? Oh, that's a good... Nope, that's another good gill. Holy cow. That is a monster. He's fat. We can lip him if we wanted to. Yeah, we just got out here a little early. He's got something wrong with his gill, but let's measure him real quick. Just hit, oh, there's another fish down there. 6, 8 3/4. Fat one though. Fat one. All right, we're starting to pick up. Finally, we just wasted 2 hours coming out early. Finally, little guy. I had to put on a tungsten. There have been so many good fish that have rolled through that don't want, oh, there's a better one, that don't want the baits at all. It's crazy. Don't want a minnow, don't want a waxy, like good fish. And I don't know if they're small bass or big bluegill, crappie, perch. I'm not really sure, but there's a lot that have rolled through. And almost none of them have bit. Well, none of the big ones have bit. It's all been the medium-sized ones. There's one. That was not too bad. Not a big one. This place is absolutely loaded with big fish, but they're just so insanely finicky. It's crazy. That's a small one compared to most of them that we've seen. And I don't know what those other fish actually are. I don't know if they're bass or crappie or perch or what they are, just absolutely ginormous bluegill. I guess any of those things are possible, but we're going to tie on the tiny little tungsten and hope that these fish end up eating a little bit better. And if they don't, we will certainly be coming back to this lake, because if half these fish ate, it would be a crazy day. Get them. That's not a bad one. That's one of the better ones. Oh, they were crappie. Oh my gosh, there were so many. I mean, they were crappie. There were some absolute tanks, and there were a lot of them. So I don't like doing this tactic very often because you lose a ton. Nice little crappie. You lose a ton of baits, but taking a super finesse tungsten or a tungsten or a lead jig head and just wacky rigging a waxy on there, you'll lose a ton of them. But when it is incredibly finicky, like it is right now, this works insanely well. And with these tiny hooks, they're not easy to thread on there. But just like that. And it'll get those super finicky ones, but if they do grab one end or the other, I mean, you're almost guaranteed to lose this. But it worked for that one. That was the first one that looked at it. And if those were all crappie, there were some massive ones that we saw earlier. I'm still shocked that not a single one wants to eat a minnow, though. Get him. That little small one. Gill. There's the wacky rigged waxy. It works. Not my favorite technique. And I've said it plenty of times before, I wouldn't do this in deep water. Because, again, you have a super high likelihood of losing your bait. And it can take a long time to fall down there when you're using something this small. Get him. That one hit it hard. It's not big. Oh man. It's not a bad one. Not bad at all. Wish we'd started doing this a little bit sooner. We'd have a heck of a day. But we are definitely going to have to come back to this lake. Because again, if these fish were halfway aggressive, and unfortunately it looks like a lot of the crappie that we were seeing have kind of moved on. So I think we missed our chance for a good bite for that, even though we kind of figured them out. Or figured out at least what they'd eat. A little too late. Oh, he probably took. Yep. That is the problem with this. There's another good one down there. And this would work probably. I don't know if you can necessarily wacky rig a spike necessarily, so this might be specific only to waxworms, but they would hold on a little bit longer if you could do it. Little guy. There was a big one that just rolled on by though. And that was definitely a crappie, but you don't want any part of this. Get him, little guy. Oh, there's our perch. We did get all 3 species. What a day. That's a little guy. There's, of course, we got the smallest out of all of them. It's usually how it goes. They're a little bit more aggressive. Get him down there. Oh, you're fine. Drop another one down there, see if we can't. Oh, they all left. This is the one unfortunate part of doing this. There's decent perch in the area, crappie, and yet not a single thing has bit our minnow. Still strange to me. You'd think one of them would have at least attempted it. Oh, that was crappie. Had to have been. The up bite on him. Shoot. If these guys were a little bit more aggressive, I'd probably put on a plastic. That would help us out a little bit, but little guy. And the big one's down there. Stared at it forever. Little one. Oh, come on now. There's still a couple good sized ones every once in a while, but they are just crazy finicky. There's one. Tiny little guy. We're just doing the most amount of junk fishing known to man. These little ones don't seem to care at all what's put in there. Now we just got a plastic on because we're losing so many waxies. The big ones still do not want it. Humbling day, I would say. There's another one. Another little guy on a plastic. Maybe we should have been throwing plastics a little bit more. Not a big one though. I haven't seen a big one for quite a while. So I think that window has probably closed. Well, that is it for today. An insanely tough day. We saw a ton of big fish, but they didn't want to eat anything. For the number of, I assume, crappie, perch, ginormous bluegill that we saw, not a single one wanted to eat a minnow, which is crazy to me. What we ended up catching most of our fish on was a wacky rigged waxworm. If you guys have never tried it, I would most certainly recommend it. If the bite is tough, you're going to lose a ton of waxworms, so I wouldn't do that all the time. It's one of my least favorite ways to fish, but if the bite is really tough, that's a go-to. And it typically does work, at least for a couple fish. So if you haven't ever tried that, I would most certainly recommend it. But we will be back out here, hopefully in the same spot. We did pin it, so we should be able to find this again. But hopefully the fish are just a little bit more aggressive, because today was wild. But as always, if you guys like the video, if you wouldn't mind liking, and if you want to see more videos like it, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, that'd be greatly appreciated also. Till next one.